A tent stands alone high on a mountain slope in Russia. It has been cut open from the inside. 9 pairs of boots are still inside it. Outside, there is nobody. 9 sets of footprints lead away, down into the snow. They were made by people in socks, in one shoe, or in bare feet. The night is far below freezing. This happened in February 1959, in the northern Ural Mountains. 9 young people left their warm tent and walked into the dark. Nobody knows why. They were students and graduates from a technical institute in the city of Sverdlovsk. Their leader was Igor Dyatlov, 23 years old, careful, clever, and trusted by everyone. They were on an expedition, a long-organized journey with a clear aim. Theirs was to ski north to a mountain called Otorten, in deep winter. 10 of them set out. On the 27th of January they left the last village, Vizhay. The next day one man, Yuri Yudin, became ill and turned back. That illness saved his life. 9 went on. They skied north through silent forest, pulling their equipment behind them. They wrote diaries. They took photographs of each other, laughing, in the snow. They were happy. On the 1st of February, they climbed out of the trees and onto an open slope. A slope is the sloping side of a hill or mountain. Somehow, they had drifted off course. Their last photographs show them cutting into the snow to make a flat place for the tent. Then the light goes. Whatever happened next happened in darkness. Dyatlov had promised to send a telegram when they returned. It never came. In late February, searchers, students and soldiers went into the mountains to look for them. On the 26th of February, they found the tent. It stood on the open slope, half buried in snow, one side collapsed. It was completely empty. Everything was still inside. Boots, coats, food, a camera. And the canvas wall had been cut open from the inside by someone in the tent, cutting their way out. Outside, the searchers found 9 sets of footprints in the hard snow. The footprints did not run. They walked, together, calmly, more than a kilometer down towards the trees. At the bottom of the slope stood a tall old cedar tree. Under it lay 2 of the young men, wearing almost nothing. Beside them were the remains of a small fire. Branches were broken high up in that tree, 5 meters above the ground. Someone had climbed it in the dark. Perhaps to look back. Perhaps to reach wood for the fire. Between the tree and the tent lay 3 more, including Igor Dyatlov. All 3 were facing back up the slope. They had been trying to return to the tent. They had died of hypothermia when the body becomes so cold that it stops working. In that cold, without boots or coats, it takes very little time. 4 were still missing. They were found on the 4th of May, when the snow melted, in a ravine, a deep narrow cut in the ground, under 4 meters of snow. These 4 were better dressed, in clothes taken from the 2 under the tree. And 3 of them had terrible injuries. Broken ribs. A fractured skull. Almost nothing broken on the outside. The autopsies, the medical examinations after death, could not explain that. Nor could they explain something else. On some of the clothing, tests found traces of radiation. Small amounts, but real. In May 1959, the case was closed. The official cause was written down as a compelling natural force. The word compelling means impossible to resist. Then the files were shut away. For 60 years people filled that silence. Secret weapons tests. Escaped prisoners. Storms. A quarrel. Something on the mountain. None of it could be proved, and the families waited. In 2020, Russian investigators concluded it was an avalanche, a mass of snow sliding suddenly down a slope. In 2021, two scientists published a model showing how a small one could do exactly this.